Happy Friday, everyone. Today is Friday, September 12th, 2025. I'm Sweets. That's Beerball. That's Sid. And this is our Friday weekly check in where we recap what has been shipped in Recoup over the past 5 days. And we plan what we're going to be shipping next week. To kick it off on my side, this week I was focused on the upgrade flow and enterprise onboarding. For upgrading, I already shared this on Wednesday. But to quickly recap, you can now upgrade directly on the site. You can manage your billing directly on the site, and you can cancel directly on the site. So if you're not signed up, you have Unlock Artist Intelligence on the left. You click Start Free Trial. This account has never had a free trial, and we don't have any billing info. In that case, it opens up the shopping cart where you enter in all your payment info powered by Stripe, and you get a 30-day free trial. If you have already signed up, you don't ever see this again. You only enter in your billing info once. And after you do, if you click on this button, it opens up a billing portal powered by Stripe where you can manage and cancel your subscriptions. Outside of that, I have now also updated docs.recoupable.com to support the ability for anybody to be able to get subscription info. And so if you go into right now I've got it inside of the additional features, subscription endpoint, api.recoupable.com/API/subscriptions. So if you plug that in with an account ID, you will then get back the subscription status. In this case, I'm looking up an enterprise customer, and so it returns true. If I look up an unsubscribed customer, it will show an error, and the message will be not subscribed. And if you plug in a pro tier customer, it returns a subscription object instead of an is enterprise attribute. And inside of the subscription object is the raw data from Stripe. So there's 3 different responses that could come. Enterprise response, which includes is enterprise, and it's a Boolean. Unsubscribed free customer, which just returns success as status as an error, and then it returns not subscribed. And a pro tier subscriber that includes status of success and then subscription as the subscription object from Spotify. That allowed me to update the founders dashboard that I'm not going to show. That way, if you go to the credits tab on the founders dashboard, before it showed everybody at 333 credits, and now we are starting to show people at 1,000 credits. With that was the bulk of what I've shipped this week. Beerball, you want to take it over and talk about what you shipped this week?
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Sir?
Okay. Yeah. So for in the last week, I have been working like there was a request from Sydney that whenever AI agent generate a knowledge base, we have no way to edit the knowledge base. Sometimes AI put unknown information, like wrong information in the knowledge base. So we had not any single way to edit the knowledge base. So one quick feature quick patch I added directly in the artist's setting dialog box. Okay, you can directly edit the knowledge base here. Like here you can see the knowledge base file. Earlier when you click here, this file opened into the new tab. Like now you can see directly here. And also if you saw something like this thing has to be updated, then you can directly edit this knowledge base here. Like earlier I added this dummy text login. Now I am adding editor for time by variable. Okay, so it generate a new file and save replace the existing one. So if you can see, like, it is now edited. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, you can see that now we have edited file. So yeah, this was the quick fix that I made in artist knowledge base.
Awesome.
And the yeah, and the other thing I was working on, like file system, like directory system. So yeah, I was working like here we can, like we have a, like in Google Drive, yeah, in Dropbox we can create folder, upload files, like we can manage all our artist data within the Recoup. We do not have to use Google Drive or any other storage systems. Like, let me create a new folder, uh, albums. Hmm. I can navigate to albums. I can upload files, any files I want. Uh, let's upload this and this. Okay. Image has been uploaded. Let's upload this text file. Yeah, like this. And yeah, I can also preview I can see the image, uploaded images. Yeah, this is a kind of a first variant of it. And let's suppose I want to delete files, then I can directly delete them. Like this. This is the like first variant, and there is not very much cool features in it yet. But yeah, this is as I'm saying, it is the first version, and I will extend it further. And the other thing that yesterday was I was working little lightly, and today I was working on like I have uploaded these files here so that I can directly attach these files. Like in albums folder I have images. I just uploaded this image. I uploaded this text file, and at home and in root directory I also have this image, and I can directly attach these images. And like whatever file I have in files, then I can directly attach in the chat, and I can like ask anything about it, like tell me about this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then it attaches it. What um what are the files? Is it all, does it work for any files that the model can recognize, or is there specific files that
Currently, yeah. Like usually models are built for recognizing PDF text files, and if we upload like music file, video files, I don't think that they will recognize at this moment, but we will have to figure this thing out.
oh,
Like
C, what
we
about like Excel, CSV, Word? Like what's the
yeah,
files that what
yeah.
files
mm,
work and what don't?
okay. So at this moment what I think is it can only support PDF and images only, and I have not tested the docx Excel files yet, but yeah, I have to figure this out, and I have to support for these other document files that we use for officials use, like Excel, docx kind of things. Yeah, for
Okay.
now what I know, it support PDF and hmm, PDF and images, I think. Yeah. So yeah, this was the second thing. And yeah, I have to like I have to make it little better, to make it little more like quick. Now like here I am selecting image, it is generating a signed URL. When I select the image, signed URL is for security purpose. Like in earlier we were storing our data in, like whatever we upload here, we get a URL, and this URL has no expiry date. And I can use the same link. I can if I open same link after a year, I can still access the data behind that link. So like we are uh, yeah, like here we are building our product for enterprise customers, so I'm also taking care of it, that whatever they upload here, they remain secure. And like even if they like share file to someone else, it will automatically expire after few days, and it will not remain stay forever on that link. So but and same link I am using here in the chat. So you can see if I enter something, that it show a disable button for that moment, and for that time it generate a signed URL. But I have to make it little better so that everything go works in the background. So yeah, so these were two three things. Like first, edit knowledge base here. This was the first. Second, making a first version of directory system. Like
Awesome.
yeah. One thing you have to note, like uh, I how can I explain it? Like when you try to use files, you will feel like it is offline. Like I can quickly switch the folders. It does not matter how many files folder I create, how many files I upload. You will always see like you can quickly navigate. All of these things are happening, fetching from backend, and even then you will feel like it's really quick. Can you see the difference?
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it is like I applied like a background fetching technique. Like let's suppose how this thing, let's suppose we have 10 files here and two folders here. Then I have like instructed the system, like if we have like two directories here, then there is a very much chances that the user will open this directory. So what I'm doing is using react queries, that I'm already prefetching what are the files exist in this directory. So whenever user try to navigate this, it open really quickly. Users do not have to wait for loading sign here. So yeah, this thing.
Cool. Awesome. I have
So
a
yeah.
couple questions. I'm a user. What
Hmm.
can I store in files currently?
At this moment, you can literally store anything.
It can be any
There is
file.
a, there is a like there is no any filter at this moment. Like I uploaded movie, I uploaded a video file, a movie file, uploaded audio file, uploaded documents, uploaded text file, uploaded images. Actually, there is a no filter at this moment. But
Cool.
yeah.
So as a user, I can upload everything that I want,
Hmm.
um, and can I tag anything that I want, and the model just won't read specific things, or like where's the limitations as a user? Uh, where will I
Hmm.
perceive it breaking?
Theoretically, we can tag anything, but like if there is mp3 file, we can tag. But the problem is that models don't directly recognize mp3 file.
Yeah,
That
yeah, understood. I guess that's my thought is like so in its current state, if you put an MP3 and tag it and send it to the model, does it
hmm.
hallucinate? Does it give us an error? Does it say I can't read that? What is the experience
uh,
with different files?
Actually, yeah, yes, as probably I know that it might not work, but yeah, I have not tested the model with mp3 file yet, that what error it gives.
Do you have a song, Sid? Do you want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
test it? Do you want to
we
share
can
screen
test
and
it.
tell?
Give me a sec. Uh,
uh, it's not in live link. Let me
oh,
share the
oh,
link.
okay.
It's
No,
currently in.
if you have an MP3, then you could do it so that you don't have to.
Okay, let me show you.
In that case, what else needs to be added to files for you to ship it to main?
Okay. Uh, okay, let me complete Sweet's question. So hmm, what I'm thinking to expand it, like uh, to show the properties of the file, like size of the file, and one thing I'm also going to add to give access, like also yeah, these directory files exist only for this artist. If I switch to another one, these exist for this artist. If I switch to this one, it has its own files. So like this, like right, yeah. So now this like simple.eth.text is only exist for this NANX artist. I want to add a new feature like with some properties so that I can make this file available to other artists as well. So this was the thing that I want to push into it. And the second thing, yeah, here, like here you can literally tag anything like MOV file, video file, MP3 file. So in the first variant, I want to add a filter so that users can only tag PDF and images file. Also, I will check if .txt file are directly supported by the Virtual AI SDK. Yeah, mostly text file and images file, and I will filter out MP3 videos files for now. So yeah, after then I will ship this to the production after
Cool.
this.
Talk to me about like file sharing. If I share a file with the artist, does other users that have that same artist see those files?
No, I think let's suppose I'm Virbal. I created a ABC like XYZ artist. That is just sweet. He created XYZ artist. Like those the artist that was created is not a common. There are unique. Like I have that artist. Sweet has that artist. That is not a single entity. Like yeah, are you understanding? Like this is how the architecture we have for the in the creation of the artist. Like I created Eminem. It exists in my account, and I upload files in Eminem's account. Sweet created Eminem account, Eminem artist, and he uploaded files there. I can't say what Sweet uploaded in his
If
artist's account.
if he has a separate artist ID and a separate Enema account, but if the same artist ID, you guys share the same artist ID, then you guys are using that same artist. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the current architecture that I am using to onboard customers is I will create an artist uh, in my account, and
Hmm.
I'll do everything I can, and then I'll go take that artist ID and go put it in the user account that needs that artist. And so I have that artist in my account, and the another user has the same artist ID in their account. And so if they change the knowledge base or the custom instructions, it changes for my artist as well. And so uh, when artists are shared across users, for example, our enterprise client we just got on, right? Like uh, if 5 of the users in that enterprise all share the same artist ID,
Hmm.
will they all? And then one of them uploads MP3s and to their like, how is the file sharing? Is it the same concept with the same artist ID? Does that make sense?
Uh, hmm. Like I think like I think there is a no shareability for a single artist by multiple users. This is our current system. Like there is one user, one artist, second user, second art.
Not the case. So let me show you if I can. Uh, can you guys see my screen?
uh, no.
No.
Give me a second. I need to get to sync screen. I need to open Superbase. I need to go to dashboard. Let me share my. Give me a sec before I share my screen. Let me pull up what I need to pull up. Table. Email at recoupable.com. There I am. Okay. Actually, filter Sydney +1. Okay. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Share. So in my account,
And just we have 9 minutes left. Before
okay,
this
cool. In
meeting
my
ends.
account, I have this artist called The Playground, right? Artist ID F2C. I created this, right? And then I took this artist ID and I shared it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if you see applied filter, there's two accounts with this artist ID. It's me, and then it's another account which I shared that artist ID. We both share the same artist. We both have the same one in our accounts. So that the other user can now also use that artist, and I see the changes. We don't share recent chats with each other; those are separate. But the knowledge base of the artist and the artist information we share. So you see what I'm saying? Like in this case, this an artist ID is used twice for two separate accounts, all sharing the same one.
Okay.
To answer your questions, go back to sharing screen, go into Supabase, and go into the new table that Veerbal created.
Let me share screen.
Okay. So like now our backend system is connected to user ID plus artist ID. In this case, artist.
I think it's called file.
Which one? Files.
F, files. So you see here, Veerbal has added both an owner account ID and an artist account ID. Personally, my philosophy is less is more, simple is best, small is beautiful. We should be making tables with the least amount of columns required in order to meet the requirements. Currently, it's been built such that it is both artist and owner. And so the files are not shared because even though you have the same artist ID, the owner, the account ID is different. And so the endpoint is going to return a different set of files for you than for that other person. I recommend we start with a more minimal version. You get rid of that column because and then it would be shared across artists. If we had spent less engineering time and added less columns, it would be shared. But because we added additional columns, it is not shared. And so Sid, if you want that feature, we now need to undo things that were written because we started with a more bloated version of the feature.
No, it's a good thought. So I'm just trying to think of from a user experience when they're sharing files, especially if they're new to AI and not 100% sure of how our architecture and backend works. What I want to happen is for users to have the ability to share files with each other for those similar artists, right? Like if we're all on the same team, we should be able to share files. But let's say I have financial data that I want also associated with that artist that I don't want my entire team to see. I like we need to decide where I just needed to figure out how you have currently designed it so that I can translate that information to the people about where the feature is at and where it's going. I think we're okay for now if it's currently files do not get shared, because that then allows me to tell them, feel free to upload financial data. Your files are your files. And then version 2 is giving the ability for them to share files across their team with other users. That's fine. That's fine for now. I just needed to know how it currently it works so I can relay that information.
In the current version, that what I have left to implement is artist A's files can be shared with other artists within this like main owner account. Like I am the owner. I have 10 artists. I uploaded file in artist A. I want to make this file accessible to the artist number 10. So
Got it. Understood. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, like when we hit the or V2 or when you start to implement the next stages of this, we can think through like file shareability across org or team. You know.
Well, but you built it as an array, so how are you going to query that?
I think like uh, like for owner account we have a limited number of artists. Then I think it is not a difficult to query from. But I will this is the first version. I will still figure out that if I can make it more efficient. Yeah, like hmm,
Personally, then we set up file sharing the same way that we've set up artist sharing. We have a table called account artist IDs, which is a reference between an account and an artist. And so if Sid decides, I want to share this artist with someone else, he already knows how to duplicate, add in a new row, and then you don't need to replicate the file. You don't need to worry about arrays and querying that. It's a new record in a separate table, and that table is associating an artist and an account. Right now we just have files, and
hmm,
so the files are not associated with anybody. And so now we have these arrays of things which are incredibly difficult to query. Anytime we do an array, that to me says we should be following the same pattern that we're doing for artist account IDs. It would be artist files. That way, if we want to share, you just create a new record in the table, and that record can reference the same storage key. That way, we don't have to worry about querying in arrays.
hmm,
We can have fewer columns, and then it allows us to do that sharing behavior in a way that is not. I get that for now it's going to be
hmm,
easy, but thinking of how does it scale if I have 1,000
yeah,
artists? How does it scale if this file is being shared across 10,000 different people? For now, in a small use case, your arrays will work. I recommend we do not use arrays because at scale, querying these arrays is going to be very difficult. You can't directly query it. And so how you're going to query it, tell me if I'm wrong, Beerball, is you're going to get every file for a given owner, and then you're going to manually go inside of that and try to pull out from that array which it is. And so you have the Supabase query, and then you're filtering afterwards. And the filtering afterwards where you're getting what you need. However, if we did a separate table, you would query once, no additional filtering required, and you already have the data.
yeah, yeah. I can think about it, and I think yeah, I will discuss about this architecture with you internally. Yeah, this is the I think better approach. The first I created was it was a rough idea, like overview that how I was thinking. It was not the best idea. Yeah, I get.
Cool.
I appreciate your bias for shipping. Thank you for not waiting for permission and having an idea and just executing
Yeah,
it. That
I
is
agree.
important.
yeah,
I agree. I'd rather you demo something that can be improved on Fridays than be like, I wasn't sure which way to go, so I just didn't ship. Like, yeah.
yeah.
Lean.
Actually, yeah, I had planned to ship it yesterday. I was not that much very good, and today I was working on it. Today I was facing that weird issue like artist disappear and weird thing. I was like there was some new super base issue like we had few days back. So yeah.
All right, cool. I know we're almost at time. Do you have a hard stop, Sweets, or can we go till like the three to wrap this up?
I can do 15 more.
Cool. All right. So you want to talk about next week? What still needs to be done and where we're heading?
Yeah. Go ahead, Sid. You kick it off. What in your mind needs to be the focus for next week so we're supporting your business goals?
The main thing is the org accounts that I was talking about, Sweets, for you. I think you did it at one. My biggest question is, let's say new user comes in with an org email. They sign in. They are now pro because you ship that, right? So the question then becomes, how do we also give them the artists list that they have access to? How do we give the artist list that pros should have access to? Is the next big question. Because as I start to tell people you're good, you can use it, they're going to come in and use it, but there's not going to be any artists on their account.
Talk to me through how you want to share. Did you see the questions that I sent in Slack to you?
No.
Would you mind pulling up the thread where we had already talked about that, and could you answer those questions?
Yeah, let me pull it up. The thread, where is the thread?
In our direct messages between you and me. Okay, and so here is, I just signed in for the first time with a enterprise account. Anything with @recoupable.com is an enterprise account. They have 1,000 total credits. Remaining is at 332. So it looks like I have not updated it so that they actually get those 1,000 credits. You see it in the total, but in their remaining it's not. So I need to fix that. However, they do have access to all the models. So I signed in with a brand new account, no extra setup required. If you have an enterprise domain, you have the feature of unlocking all the models, and we can see that your total credits is 1,000, but remaining credits should also be updated to 1,000. That's an edge case bug that I still need to clean up. Does that resolve your first question that you had originally posed that we went into in the thread, Sid, or is there something else that I'm missing?
The next question is, let's say recoupable.com has, as an organization, a list of 10 artists that they share across their org. When I sign in, I need access to those artists without having to create new ones. And so that is the next question.
How are the, where's my list of questions?
No, I
Did
can't
you see
find them. I'm looking for them. Wait a second.
It's the only message you sent to me yesterday.
Okay, see it. First part redone.
Example email. So yeah, what's an example artist ID? Which emails or which domains, when signed in, should get those artists, and then any other logic. I guess the main question is, how are you going to give?
Yeah.
Do you have that list of artists that you need to be shared? Is it a one-time list, or is this a list that they're going to add more artists to?
It's great questions. You have the list in that Notion I sent you. All of those accounts should just have access to those artists.
So across all the domains, it doesn't matter if they're inside of the enterprise, there's multiple different domains. All of those domains should have the same artists to start?
Yes, to start, yes. Although there was a question about, I am imagining that they are going to request the ability to customize that eventually. Either by domain or just like an administrator of the account being able to go in and say, this person gets this artist and this artist, like giving them the ability. I can be the administrator now, but I think right now, like just for the sake of speed, giving all artists or all accounts access to all of those artists, and then building out the infrastructure to add and remove from an admin if need be later down the line.
In the document you sent is a list of accounts, but not a set of artist IDs.
It's
correct?
a set of artists. I will get you the artist IDs that I have, and then I will add the artist IDs to that document. If it doesn't have an artist ID, it means the artist was not created, and that means I just have to create it. So I will get you the.
And then the individual account will be able to delete it from their own account, but it will not delete it for other people in the org. Correct? Okay. So you have a hard-coded set. If they've already signed in or if they've never signed in any case, their list of artists should be expanded to include those new ones, which is going to be a one-time operation to write it. No, it's not, because if it's a one-time operation to write it, if a new email signs in,
Well,
they won't have
listen,
it.
we don't need to have this done today. Sooner the better. But
The best thing is if you give me an example. That way we can run through it and I can understand the actual implementation. We either spend a lot of time really trying to think it out, or you give me very concretely the things that I requested in the thread, and then I build the minimum implementation in order to get it out the door for you to be able to get feedback from whoever the target customer is who wants this thing that
okay,
you're
cool.
requesting.
So let me ask you, or I'll fill this out by end of day today, so you have it. That's the main blocker for the accounts, and then from the only other thing, my question I'll throw back to you guys is like, what needs to be finished from last week's shipping? What, you know, whether it be the file system, whether it be the template stuff, verbal and suites on your side, would like with the credit stuff, like instead of net new things, I think maybe we finish up a lot of the stuff that's at 80%.
Go ahead, Virbal. What do you got? What do you got to wrap up? What are you thinking is going to fill up your week next week?
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I will just complete the first variant of this file system, like adding properties, giving access to these artists. This, like, I think this is the first priority for in the first version, giving access to other artists under a single owner. So yeah, this was the first thing. The second thing is adding a filter here so that a user can't upload movies, video files, or music files here. So this is it is a very simple thing. And the third one is if everything works well in these two, then the third one is working on a version 2 of agents, where a user can more customize the agents. Like, this was the first version. uh, User can create new agents. Like, there were many feedbacks that I had to work on in the v2. So yeah, I think
Yes, yeah, great suggestion. I would opt for that over filtering of MP3s. Yeah, because I know that's a big, the customization and shareability of agents across teams is a high priority for them.
Okay.
The customization of agents across teams, so org level agents.
Correct.
In that case, we need a new, Virbal, if I'm thinking of this right, we need a new column inside of the agents table for org ID or something like that. That way, if I'm signed in with, let me actually phrase this as a question. Virbal, what changes do you think need made in order to be able to share an agent across so that it's only accessible to everybody within a given org, but is not visible to anybody outside of that org?
Okay, so yeah, in the first variant, that what I did, uh, if I create a agent here and I does not set it to private, it is visible to everyone. If a new user came to the platform, like me, he can also see that agent. So this is how the first variant implemented. Like, these agents are public, created by Recoupable. uh, like, suppose the Suite created a new agent with a good prompt, but set it to public, then I, joining this platform today as a new user, I can see that agent. So this is how it is implemented at this moment. Hmm. For organization, like, we just entering into enterprise area, so I have to think about it. I have to discuss with you guys in the team. Like, I have already got a list from the Sydney. Then I think I first work on it. Then we can think about sharing within the organization in an
The list
enterprise.
that I, suites for your purpose, on your question, the list that I gave him for V2 didn't account for org access because we didn't have that set up. So I just told Verbal to just give the user the ability to add other email addresses to their public agents, right? Like, so like if I want to share an agent that I create and make it private, but just share it with suites, I can. So it was less org level access. Because at the time, my notes were based on the infrastructure that we had available and not thinking through org accounts. The question, I guess, when you asked, should we do org level agents? My question is, what's the simpler solution or more modular solution to spend time on? Should it be org level agents, or should we just do email agent or share agents with other emails?
Share agents with other emails feels like a more manual process. It requires the human to input the specific email addresses that they want to share that agent with.
Yes,
right?
But it also gives them the modularity to like not share every single agent across the entire org. And yeah,
Correct.
Make it more specific.
So I originally said maybe we need to add a column for organization into the agents table. I'm backtracking that. We're using accounts to represent artists and to represent humans. I think accounts can also represent orgs, because Virbal already has a column inside of the agents table for the owner account ID, which references the accounts table. And so in the case of an org agent, we could reference the org account. So we don't need to add any additional columns. We follow the same logic. And then we can have two things. Virbal already added a private toggle. Maybe if someone is part of an org, we add is organization, like a checkbox or a toggle as well. If they turn on that toggle, the owner becomes the org account. That way it's available to everybody. And if they don't flag that on, then it's a normal one and it gets saved into their owner. And if they mark it as private, it's only for them. And I think that meets all of your criteria, Sid, of I can share it across an organization. I can keep it private so that nobody else has access to it. Or I can make it public and it's available for everybody.
Yeah.
And then the only extra thing we need to do is make a new table called organization accounts that creates a reference between the organization account and every individual human that is a part of that organization. That way, when Virbal's rendering the list of agents, okay, this agent is part of this org. Is this account part of that org? I think now I'm going a little bit too deep in the weeds, but thinking of an org as an additional account, that way it fits into the existing mental model that we have of everything references back to the accounts table.
I like it. Makes sense. And then building off of that, because then we can easily query. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that implementation. And then Virbal, those are the two main things then: files and templates for orgs. There was one bug. What was the bug? Oh, the bug that you said, Sweets, that like just for duplicate accounts or duplicate emails.
Addresses. I'll clean that up today. I'll write that down and I'll get that done before end of day today.
And then Sweets on your end, I know we're close to the end, but what is there anything you want to wrap up with credits? You want to continue down that path next week?
Yeah. My two tasks will be organizational level artists. So talking with you to figure out what are the requirements and how can we share artists, and then credits, getting it cleaned up, expanding it to the image generation credits, etc. Virbal is on files and agents. I'm on organizational artists and credits. Do you want to talk about what you're on?
Yeah, Sid? I'm on onboarding and cleanup. When I say cleanup, I mean onboarding and cleanup of. I need to clean up the founder admin. I want to add a created at. I know you had questioned if we should do that through Privy or not. And I think I just want to have a centralized place where we have that information, so we're not jumping around. So I want to add a created at. And I was thinking, and this is
we're already jumping around for stuff like Stripe, though. Like we're already jumping around for stuff like Stripe. If you're duplicating the info, it's additional cost. Someone needs to maintain it, and there's likelihood that it gets outdated and incorrect. Privy already maintains that source of truth. We're not duplicating data from Stripe into our database. We're referencing the source of truth directly. It's less engineering time. It's more correct data. So why wouldn't we follow that same mental model for Privy data? Why would we replicate data that they're already storing and they're accurately representing? Why would we put that into our database, create an opportunity that we don't maintain it right, that we update that value to an incorrect value? Why do you think that it is better to duplicate the data and add additional things that we need to maintain as a company rather than referencing a source of truth from a venture-backed acquired by Stripe company, and their job is to maintain the correctness of that data?
What if we change providers?
At that point, let's cross that bridge. That we follow. In this case, the response is Yagni. The principle is Yagni. You aren't going to need it. If we do need it, let's cross that bridge. For now, we have. Do you have any reason we would leave Privy?
No.
So in that case, we're talking about hypotheticals that we have no reason to consider.
Okay, let me think through it. I appreciate your challenge.
Virbal, do you have any thoughts on this from the engineering perspective? Do you agree with my perspective, or do you see Sid's point in copying data that Privy is providing and putting it in Supabase somewhere else, a place where we need to maintain?
Yeah, but what I think about Stripe is that if we can get directly from Stripe, then they have like always the correct data. What I think, yeah.
In this case, he's not talking about Stripe. He's talking about Privy, and specifically Privy gives us when an account was created. Privy's our auth, so when you sign in with email, the first time you sign in with email, Privy is saving created at, and you can use the SDK, the Privy SDK that we already have integrated, and you can reference inside of that user object that we already have in the user provider. You can get that created at out of that user object. Sid is suggesting ignore that created at that's already in the user object and store the created at somewhere else inside of Supabase for us to maintain. I'm suggesting no, we already have that data from Privy. We should use what Privy's giving us. In what you just said about Stripe, Privy has the correct source.
Yeah.
Sid is saying no. I don't know that I fully understand Sid's reasoning. In his mind, it's easier to store it somewhere else. I think it's easier because he can tell an LLM, and the
Correct.
LLM is not going to consider the
Correct.
SDK. But if you just tag the Privy SDK, your LLM and your vibe coding will already know how to get it. You just need to know to tag Privy.
Okay.
Instead of just like, it's the same problem of you recreating components that we already have. Like, you just need to know to tag the thing so that we're not duplicating, and each additional line of code is a new thing that we need to maintain.
Understood.
Life is chiefly
Understood.
maintenance.
Understood. Okay. You've convinced me.
Okay. So,
I got you.
let me add one thing. Like here we are working with Privity. Like I have worked with the clerk auth. I was also maintaining a separate table for the user. How I was doing. I connected a webhook endpoint, and whenever a new user sign up, it create a separate entry in the users table, and it was kind of automatic and always in sync.
Why do that? Did you have an SDK to reference the original source of truth from your auth provider?
Actually, at that time, I think there was a reason. I was kind of storing users credit. There was a reason that I don't know. I forget. I worked on it year back, 1 year back, I think. I had to use a webhook for kind of onboarding to inject the credits, like a new user sign up, and it send information to my backend system, like this user sign up, and inject the credits into his account. Like for this purpose, I don't know, I think I forgot.
Got it. Yeah.
The main principle that I'll fall back on, that how I'm orienting this, is don't maintain anything that we don't need to. You shared with me the video, Sid, of OpenAI saying there's two different types of people. One that thinks we're at the limit, and other people that think this is the worst it's ever going to be. And so we could recreate and we could ignore Vercel and we could build our own AI components, but that's not our strength. And if we do that, that's extra engineering time that we need to spend on things that Vercel's already built, they're maintaining, and every time they ship an update, we get that benefit. The second we ignore them and we build our own, Vercel recently releases an update, Sid needs to come onto our Friday call and prioritize that we get on par with Vercel. And so if we always just reference the source of truth, let them do the thing that they're good at, we reference that perfect, excellent source of truth, we can spend more engineering time building tools, focusing on the record labels, focusing on the musicians, and not maintaining an extra created at that Privy is already supporting, and they provide it in the SDK, and we just need to tag in our LLM to let the LLM know that it's available. So don't maintain things that someone else will maintain for us. That applies to Stripe, that applies to Privy, that applies to the LLMs. In my opinion, if there's another principle, Sid, that you are following in this case or how that principle falls short, I don't want to steamroll and say that this is the right opinion. This is just, I want to make sure that we are not because if you do this, Sid, you're prioritizing writing code that you could be doing something else doing. And I want to make sure that we are hyper focusing on the things that are really going to add value for our enterprise customers and for acquiring new customers, so that we don't get replaced by someone that is leveraging those benefits. They aren't maintaining those things, and then they're running faster than us because they are referencing those external sources of truth. I think one of the benefits we have as a company right now is we don't have a lot of lag. And so when people that are signing up to us as enterprise customers, they can't ship at the same speed as us because they have too many other dependencies of things that they need to maintain. Every additional thing that we build, we need to maintain, and that slows us down in our ability to iterate and build on new things.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you to an extent. I'm battling between the world of what I personally can ship fast to get something out the door versus what I need to ship right in order to not build tech debt for later. And the balancing act kind of comes down to how much tech debt is really going to get added. For example, is the juice worth the squeeze for me, because I'm going to be the one implementing the created at? What would take you 5 seconds because you've done this 1,000 times doesn't take me 5 seconds. And so I'm opting for what will take me the fastest. But I appreciate the question of like, well, how much will that add to your tech debt later down the line? And so I think like, it's just a question of like, where understanding each other and how much the tech debt is. If it's, I agree with you of opting for simplicity and not maintaining what we can. Agree 1,000%. I also want to be able to track retention. and we have a bunch of new users that are about to come in, and we have currently no way of tracking the retention of them. And so I'm opting for, like, let me explain from like what I'm shipping for is by next week, I want to be able to track all our new users, when their accounts were created. I need to be able to add a way to track what their segment is, right? Are they a marketer? Are they an artist? Like what's their role, so that I can take that data and over the course of the month, see what kind of user is retaining. Is there a specific segment of users, and what's the retainment? And so like I'm trying to get that's where I'm going to, is like, how can I ship that so I can collect that data as fast as possible? But I will build it in a way that grabs the data that is already being hosted somewhere else or maintained somewhere else. So I agree. Sorry, just thinking through like kind of like what I'm trying to get to. I know we're at time, so yeah, I'm focusing on that right now, is tracking retention, being able to track retention through segments or user cohorts, and then user onboarding one-on-ones. I'll also do probably a little cleanup with the AI SDK and and elements, because they just shipped a bunch of new elements that look beautiful. So I want to play around with that.
Seeing you thinking, Birbal, is there anything you wanted to talk about that we haven't already mentioned during this call?
No, I think I have discussed that whatever I want to. Yeah.
Good to wrap up, Sid. Anything on your
Cool.
side? We'll be back on Monday, everyone. If you got value out of this, make sure to give us a like, give us a follow, and give it a repost so that everybody else that you're connected with can see the work that we've been doing.